All righty, here we are. Ottolini Cuisini, one of the final nights in Venezia, even though we're not in Venezia. And we are doing veal Saltimbocca. Here's some pieces that I've already pounded out a little bit. I just wanted to show you the process that I prefer. This one's actually pounded out a tiny bit, but I want to show you the deal here. So, a Ziploc bag, 1 gallon size, allows you to get just about any size scallopini you want on there. That's going to be big enough. It's got to be able to at least fit in the pan. But these are 1/8 sliced scallopini. And what we'll do is you're going to pound these out a bit. You're going to tenderize them that little bit more. And the art of the deal is to get it inside the bag. No splatter, no mess, no nothing. Hearty bag. And when you're pounding, you're not hammering away at it. You're just dropping the hammer, so to speak. And so it's just falling out. And you're doing it with a push towards the outside. That's going to even out the entire piece. And so it's flattened out and tenderized throughout. Just a gentle drop with a push towards the outside. There is your pounding technique for a nice, beautiful, tenderized veal to make a beautiful veal saltimbocca, which will be layered with prosciutto and sage, lightly floured, and then fried up in a little butter and olive oil and garlic, and it's a beautiful dish. You're going to enjoy this one. Very gentle, very light, but super, super flavorful. Here we go. I'll be back with you in just a sec. Okay, kids, we got our veal all flattened out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to season this with a little bit of pepper, little drizzle of the pepper across the tops. We're going to do a little bit of sea salt, just for a little bit of flavor. And then what I've done is I've chopped up some of the sage. Now sage is man, if you had smell-o-vision right now, you'd be going, whoo, that stuff's crazy. But the sage is potent, and it's a beautiful flavor. But we're not going to coat these things with sage. We're just going to get that flavor in them, or on them. And then as it crisps up and bakes and stuff, it's just going to exude all the flavor. We'll put a couple of leaves on it mainly for show, but this is what's going to flavor all of this goodness. So that's probably more than enough, but you know what? If you're going to make a flavorful dinner, come on, have some fun. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get each one of these guys layered with a slice of prosciutto. Prosciutto is so thin and so wonderful that is sometimes a little difficult to work with. But I bet you we'll figure it out. Beautiful, beautiful San Daniele. You know, there's a couple different big prosciutto, San Daniele and Parma. Parma, they claim to be one of the best because the pigs that they get the ham from feed on the way of the Parmesan factories, and so that gives it the flavor in their meat. Whereas San Daniele is more up in the Veneto, and where the wind comes rushing down the plains and across all the fields of oats and herbs and things, and they open up the barn doors and that air filters in there, and they say that's what makes the San Daniele even better. So everybody's got the better way. I think if you and I were tasting each one, or what we'd love to do is actually go to one of those tastings and try to decide for ourselves. Not that it would matter a whole lot. They would all be good, but I'd be happy to throw my 2 cents in. So what we're doing in here is we're going to try to get this pressed into this a little bit. You know, prosciutto's got a little bit of that beautiful, nice, I don't want to call it gooey, but it's wet, you know, and it's got that good stuff. So we're going to try to press that into the I got my hands in there. I was rowing all day. Of course, they're clean now, but I kind of whacked them on a couple of oars and Really messed them up. I'll put in the good hand for now because the other hand got beat up today. But that ain't gonna change the flavor. And that ain't gonna change the goodness. So we're trying to pound these or gently press these in. It's kind of difficult. I think the finger is making it tough. Let's see if it, yeah, that might work it. That might work a little bit better. Try to get it so it's gonna stick into this meat. It's sticky, but we want it to be able to stick because we're gonna fry it in and we want it to become one with the veal. Ham, meat, cow. One of the great blessings. So we've got that on there like that. Then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put one sage leaf on each one. And this is going to be pretty, but it's also, when it fries, it's gonna go into the oil and add that beautiful sage flavor to it. Are you guys thinking the same thing? I know you're looking at it and you're looking at that thing going, hey Mike, what about that little piece of veal that doesn't seem to have enough prosciutto? Yeah, I know, I saw it. You thought I didn't. Let's get that in there. All right, now that's good for a moment. We'll get to the next spot. Over here on this side, we've obviously got our veal sitting there ready to go. We're sauteing some mushrooms. Here I just got a little bit of garlic. I got some butter. I got some olive oil. And because we're sticking with the theme, I thought this would be kind of fun, because we're going to add a little bit of sage to this, just to give it a little bit of marriage with the rest of the dish. It's kind of fun. Oh, man. Smell-o-vision is alive and kicking because those mushrooms are looking sweet. Again, garlic, olive oil, butter, a little bit of sage. And then I'm going to hit these things with a little bit of red wine. I know that's sad, but I've got plenty. It'll be back in the cup in a minute and then back in my belly. But that's going to just turn this thing to, almost the old chart house style mushroom. That sage is going to add another little kick to it. So those babies are bubbling pretty nice. We're going to turn that off for a minute and get back to the Saltimbocca. So here's what we're going to do now. I think you can probably all see this. We're going to try to flour these guys up a little bit. I'm going to dredge them, but I'm going to try to get it in here so we can get these babies. We're not really trying to get a lot on here. This is just going to help with a little bit of crispness in it. So you can take this, bump, 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 bump. Again, lost that sage. Makes it a little bit difficult. I kind of like to just dump it on the top there a little bit. Get that in there. Ha 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 ha. Sage. A little shaky, shaky, shaky. Shaky, shaky. Shaky, shaky, shaky. A little less flour. Don't worry, this is going to help make this sauce nice and thick. You'll see the bonus of it. But we don't need much. Voila. All right, we'll be back in a moment. Peace, bye. All righty, let's see how we do. We got a little bit of butter out here. I don't know if you saw this, but we're doing a little polenta in the back too. Sauteing that in a little olive oil for now. La 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 la. Where is my olive oil? Where could it be? Yes, I found it. Okay. Now this is, you think we're using a little bit much, but not really, because we're going to saute all these guys up in that. And those are gonna be bellissimo. So we're gonna get this baby heated up. Let's fire that up high to get things rolling at a more of a rapid pace. Over here, we're gonna re-wax that once we start sauteing. I'm gonna get that prepped up and ready to go. I'm a little bit slow today in the sense that I just rode about 10 miles in honor of the whole gig of Vogelonga, and I'm a little tired. But we're gonna see if we can produce something here. We got mushrooms, we got polenta, we got Saltimbocca. Might notice my new pan. See this baby? See how that thing has got the high back on it? Not that I really need it, but I really like it. It's fun. So now we got a little bit of foam in there. We're starting to get nice and toasty. And let's see if we can crisp up that prosciutto and the sage and have it stay on top. Let's make sure it's nice and hot though. I think we are. So upside down. It's bubbling. Medium heat. Whoop. The concept of this is to try to get it crispy. Sometimes on these saltimboccas, people will roll them up, and I certainly have done that method before. And that's cool. Keep everything together a little bit easier, but it doesn't get the prosciutto crispy. And when you got that whoa, look at that. Now that was fun. Add a little life to that. You know wax paper? What'd you learn there? Wax paper likes to catch on fire. You get nervous. Shiitake happens. It's an old mushroom joke. The Chinese babies. They're doing good. You're getting a little crazy back there, though. Tone that down. Tone this down. So the art of these babies is if we were able to get them to crispy and stay completely together. Usually a couple of minutes on each side. 2, maybe 3. See, that sage doesn't want to stay on there. Well, it kind of did. That bacon, see how it started to get crispy like that? Oh, that's nice. That one stayed on nicely. That one stayed in the neighborhood. Ooh, but look at those things. And that prosciutto gets that crispiness on there. It's almost like a bacon, but it's got more flavor than bacon. So it makes you just that much happier. Start looking tasty. Ooh, polenta in the back, mushrooms in the front, prosciutto and sage on the top of the beautiful, pounded, thin, tenderized veal. Saltimbocca. This is actually more of a Roman dish than a Venetian dish, but the Venetians are so good with veal that they adopted it also. And that's a beautiful sage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these fry up a little bit. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to do the next batch, and then we'll come back and we'll talk more about the polenta, and we'll talk about the mushrooms, and we'll talk about the sauce that we're going to make out of this. And yum, yum, yum. Chow, chow, chow. Second batch. Looking good. Sage stayed on. Went into the oil. Making it tasty. These guys are going to be fun when I get on them, too. And of course, the mushrooms you saw. Ooh, mama jama. Ooh. Good stuff. Things are coming right along, as they say in English. All right, so now we'll go with the sauce. We're going to get a little butter going in there. Because butter is good. We got brown butter and regular butter now, and we got a little olive oil, and we've got all that sage flavoring. But no, do we have enough sage flavor? Heck no. We're going to throw one of these guys in there just to help out with that. So we got our butter in there. I've got some real minced up garlic here. I always have a little bit of this because it just becomes saucy so fast. And then I've got some chicken stock. I actually mix a little bit of chicken stock and a little bit of beef stock because I thought the veal and the beef ought to kind of have a little chat too. So this stuff you're just going to kind of get up because you want it to reduce down into a little bit of thickness. It's got some of that flour in it, you know, from before. That's going to help as a thickener. But that's gonna get fun. So I don't think I've got the back burner on here, do I? Or did I ever? Hold on one second, huh? You know why? Get to that in a minute. All right, bubbling, good stuff. Gonna keep that bubbling over here, and we're gonna start playing with this. In here, I've got a little bit of garlic, a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna throw in a wee bit of pepper. And we're gonna get those polentas, pieces, or rounds, crispy on one side, crispy on the other. There's a lot of different ways to make polenta. Polenta can be a very creamy item that's great to put like black sepia on top. I mean, there's a lot of things that creamy polenta is really fun to do with it. This is more of a quick way of doing it, but it's fun to fry it up. These are great at breakfast time too. It's just basically cornmeal, but the yellow cornmeal, fry it up. They be jamming. So this is reducing down. So here's what we're gonna do. This is fun. Since the veal sauce is reducing down. Polenta. Yeah, they're starting to get crispy. Woo, dog. You know, this is kind of crazy because I'm cooking this stuff, and I'm on the text chain. Because Long Beach is getting semi-looted at the moment because we've got a lot of problems right now with some rioting. It's just crazy. But we're protected, we're working, we're keeping the city safe, and we're keeping your bellies full. So we will do everything we can to make your life and your belly happier at the end of the day. So those guys are cooking nicely. They're getting crispy already. So I'm going to move back into this. As this sauce is getting toned down, we're going to put these guys right back in. And they're going to taste the sauce. They're going to gulp it up. Just to get that flavor, get them warmed up. And we'll pull those out, put them on a plate, cook them with put the mushrooms, crispy polenta. Bada bing, bada bang. We've got Saltimbocca at the Ottolini Cuisine. Casa di Ottolini Cuisine. There we go, beautiful crispy polenta. Looking mighty fine. Into the chart house style, Italian style, sage-infused mushrooms out of the beautiful Saltimbocca with prosciutto, veal scallopini, and sage. Yee, gadzooks, it's a sea monster. Ciao for now.